Welcome to the My Creative Days podcast, where we will talk about all things DIY, home decor, decorating tips, and creating a beautiful home on a budget. I am hoping our time together will spark a creative idea, help you plan your next DIY, or inspire you to finally tackle that project you keep putting off. Grab your favorite cup of motivation and let's chat. Hello and welcome back to the podcast. Today I kind of have a fun podcast for you. So I'm going to be talking about unpopular home decor opinions, and these are just my opinions, but I thought it'd be fun to kind of put these together after years of decorating, DIYing, thrifting, flipping furniture. You may agree with some of these, you may disagree with all of these, but I thought it would just be fun to put these out here because I think they do work for a lot of people and I think they make a ton of sense. And so I thought this would be kind of fun. Number one, let's talk about the whole color debate. So I am somebody who firmly believes any house, no matter the size, the shape, whatever, can benefit from neutral colored walls. Now, a lot of people say, I need color, I want color. And I do think it works great in some rooms, in some spaces. I've seen a lot of color drenching where you are painting the doors, the trim, the ceiling, the walls, all in one color. But here's what I've learned. Those kinds of things are trending right now, but especially for me, and again, these are only my opinions. For me, after a year, I'm going to be like, I hate it. I hate it. And now I'm having to repaint, trim, and doors and ceilings. And I don't know. After years of doing this over and over and over again with our flip houses, our own house, I just think maybe I'm at a point where it's like, I don't want to have to redo it after 1 year. And so I always think neutral goes best because it is something that even if you're trying to, go with a trend or something comes up, you can try that trend in smaller ways. But then when you're sick of it in a week or a month, when it's not so popular anymore, you still have that neutral base to work with and go back to or change things up with. So that's my first opinion. I think color is so fun, but I also, again, I know I will be sick of that after a little bit. Now, when we redid Landon's bedroom, we did put a darker green color on the walls, and he has the smallest room in the house. I still love that color, but it's not on every wall. I'm trying to think. It's not on every wall because we did do kind of a wood accent wall on one of his walls. So it's broken up, but I still love that color on his wall. And it, to me, especially for the stuff that we have in his room and all of that, it is a neutral base, if that makes sense. And it's not overly done. So yes. Okay. I'm going to stop there. I'm not going to go on and on. Number two, not every wall needs something on it. Not every wall needs something on it. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just leave a wall alone. Like, just leave it. Empty space just gives your eyes a place to rest. And I feel like there are certain walls that need something on it, but then there's some walls that it's like, no, like I don't need to overcomplicate things here. Like, it's just good the way it is. And so with every wall being filled, everything starts competing for attention, right? And I'm finding myself in our lower family room. I kind of have these gallery walls, if you will. And I have found some really fun, like framed pieces and just other things that I just keep adding to these walls. But I'm starting to feel like I want to purge and kind of make it more simple, if that makes sense. So it's on the back burner. It's something I need to get to, but it's like I love every single little piece that's on there. So I'm just not sure what I'm gonna do. So it's going to stay as it is right now. It is fun to look at, and I love when you can curate a wall full of stuff that you didn't just go to one store and pick all the stuff up at, right? Like you pick these things up over time. So yeah, so I'm kind of dealing with that in just one room, but we have walls all over that does not have anything on them. Okay, here is the next one. So matching furniture sets. Obviously when you're picking out, a couch and a couple of chairs, like for your living room, let's say, that's something where you will go to you'll go to a furniture store or whatever, Home Goods, that's a great option as well. And you're going to find your pieces there. Don't buy the whole set that looks the same. Does that make sense? So if you're going to buy a leather sofa, don't buy the leather chairs. Don't do that. So maybe mix in some fabric chairs or, something different. Just something different. So it doesn't look like you went into your local furniture store and said, "I'll take that in the like the window, the show window or the display as soon as you walk in," and then you just transplanted it into your living room. Mix it up a little bit. It doesn't all have to be matchy-matchy. Some of the best like some of the best spaces, they mix different things like woods, textures, and it just looks like pieces were collected over time. And again, not like you just walked into a furniture store and said, "I need 2 chairs and a sofa." Oh, that set right there? Yes, I just want it all like that. Mix and match. And so and I'm talking about that way for like your bigger pieces where you probably go to a furniture store to get, like your sofa or your, what do I want to say? Like your living room chairs. But then another thing don't do, I think that doesn't look the best is when you're buying then the end tables and the coffee table that's at that furniture store with the set you're buying. Go and like browse around. Go to estate sales. Maybe you have a curated antique store. You know me, thrift shops, thrift stores, yard sales, and pick up, your end tables and a coffee table there. So it's not the same from the furniture store. Does that make sense? It looks better, I think, when the room, the space, whatever it is, it looks like it's collected. It looks like it's curated. It's not just, I walked in on a Saturday, I needed a couch, 2 chairs, 2 end tables and a coffee table, and I literally bought what was in the showroom at the furniture store. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. Bigger decor is almost always better than tiny decor. So for me, I don't like a lot of little trinkets and things. Now, there are definitely, especially when I'm thrifting or at yard sales or whatever, if I find some like smaller, like, do you guys know those brass, they're like brass change plates? I say plates, that's not the right word. They're small. They're like the size of my palm. Like those little things, I love those things to add here and there. But like a lot of little figurines and things like that, it starts to look cluttery. My mom always calls those things dusters. Oh no, those are dusters. Like I don't want those. Like you have to dust those little things because that's all they do is collect dust, right? It can just, instead of it looking styled with a bunch of little trinkets and things, knickknacks and all of that, it looks cluttered and just like too much. Larger decor pieces, they make it, your eye kind of moves more and it just feels calmer and more intentional. Does that make sense? Instead of 5 tiny frames on a wall, 1 larger piece of art can make a bigger impact. I have something that hangs up in our living room, and it's this antique, think of like an antique peg rack, but it's like homemade. It's really cool. Now I could hang 15 tiny little things on there, but I think I have 5, I want to say 5, I can't think of bigger pieces that are not necessarily hung on there, but they're made to look like they're hung on there. And it just makes a bigger impact instead of a lot of little tiny things. And instead of a lot of little decor pieces on a shelf, try 2 or 3 larger ones. Whenever I have done styling videos on my YouTube channel. Go to My Creative Days on YouTube. You'll find it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because number 1, I'm uploading new videos every week. And number 2, our podcast is now only hosted on YouTube. So every Monday, the podcast, you will find it on YouTube. That's the only place you can get it. So if you aren't subscribed to our YouTube channel, you will miss out. So we will leave a link to it in the show notes, but if you go to youtube.com/mycreativedays, you'll find it. It might be /@mycreativedays for YouTube. But anyway, you'll find it. But just make sure you subscribe. It's free to subscribe, but then you'll know when new content comes out. Anyway, and whenever I do those styled videos, I'll style the hutch in our living room. I always say, odd numbers. You've heard that over and over again. So 3 and 5 look better than 2 or 4. Does that make sense? And so usually it's they're when I say larger decor items, I'm not talking about, you know, I'm looking around my office to see if I can see something. I'm not talking about massive things, but instead of those little like figurines and things, you know what I'm talking about? You want, like a faux plant or something, something that's a little bit more substantial. Just a grouping of, you don't want three of the same, but like, that and a couple of medium-sized items or something. It just looks so much better than a bunch of little figurines or tchotchkes, isn't that what people call them? All on a shelf. Does that make sense? Bigger is definitely better here than the little tiny figurines and knickknacks that you find. Before we jump back into the episode, I want to share something exciting. We've been quietly revamping the Furniture Flipping Academy. Not because it wasn't good, but because it's time for it to be even better. The Academy has always been designed to feel like a toolbox, not just a course you watch once and forget, but a resource you can come back to again and again as you grow. And as the flipping world changes, as prices change, as trends shift, I want the Academy to grow with you. So we're refining things, simplifying, making it even more practical, even more usable. And one thing I don't talk enough about, there are done-for-you pieces inside. Not just, here's what you should do, but actual plug-and-go resources. Pricing worksheets you can fill in, templates you can use, checklists you can follow, real examples you can model. You don't have to build systems from scratch. You don't have to guess what to track. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. If you've ever thought, I wish I just had a place that showed me what actually works, this is that place. Inside, you'll find guidance for every stage. If you're brand new and don't even know what tools to buy, if you flipped a few pieces but aren't sure you're pricing them right, if you want to make extra income but don't want the pressure of building a massive business, this isn't about doing everything. It's about knowing what to do next and having it laid out for you. Not fluff, not hype, not overwhelm. And here's what I want you to hear clearly. You don't have to turn this into something huge. You don't have to be on every platform. You don't have to do it like anyone else. You just need the right tools and a trusted place to learn from. And with the new updates and the new low price, there has honestly never been a better time. You could keep guessing, or you could follow a proven path that's already mapped out for you. If flipping furniture is something you want to do, even just a little, this is your next step. Head to the link in the show notes and take a look inside. You'll see everything that's included and how simple we've made it. Let's get back to the episode. This is my favorite one. Trends age quickly. They are fun, but they don't last. They just don't last. And so I kind of talked about this in the beginning, where if you're always constantly trying to chase a trend, you are not finding what you really love and what makes your home yours and comfortable and your like place to relax and rest and have family and friends and all of that. You want it to be a reflection of you. And when you're constantly chasing trends, you aren't fulfilling what you need, right? You're fulfilling what everybody else is telling you looks cool and all of that, right? So, and for me, I'm going to get bored real quickly. Like I know that I like not traditional, but I just like classic, things that where if I did want to try a little something different, or I always have a project like, Matt, let's try a new project. Let's do something on this wall or something. I know that the base of everything is still kind of neutral and classic, timeless. But then I might try a little trendy something here or there just to try it out. But you want to, especially the big things. So like the color on your walls, your furniture, like your bigger pieces, you want to keep those more classic, right? And so then if you want to try something trendy, you want to try those things that are maybe smaller and easier to change. So definitely trends age quickly, and they're fun to see and watch and, on social media, or maybe it's on like your HGTV, those kinds of shows. Those are fun. But when you really think about it, like, oh my gosh, I just saw this happening and I'm seeing more and more of this everywhere. Are you going to love that in 6 months? Or in 6 months when they're like, nope, don't do that anymore. Now you got to do this. Are you like, oh my gosh, They're so right. I hate what we did. And now 6 months later, you're changing it again. I'm telling you, it's not fun. It's like this constant hamster wheel you're on, and it's not fun. So trends age quickly. So this one I think is everybody kind of agrees with it. Too much decor, it's clutter. It's now you're hoarding, right? Decorating isn't always about adding more. To be honest, a lot of times for me, it's about taking away. So, and especially as I'm recording this now, we're coming into spring. Clean out your house. Clean out your house. One of the biggest improvements you can make in your homes is purging and getting rid of stuff. I'm telling you, don't go to a yard sale, a thrift store, Home Goods, Target, wherever you like to go, whatever. It doesn't matter. If you're in a retail store, you're in a thrift store, it doesn't matter. Don't go to one until you've totally cleaned out your house. Like, get rid of all that stuff that you don't love. There's no reason to hang on to it either. Like, don't put it in a box for you to put in storage for someday. Don't do it. Don't do it because you won't see it again. Get rid of stuff that's too much in a space. It's too cluttered. Your mom collected tiny bears and you somehow now have inherited it and started picking up your own tiny bears and you don't love it. You're like, what am I doing? Get rid of it. Take things away, spread things out, give items space to breathe. A room looks so much better with less. And it's so crazy because I've done organizing podcasts and things, but when your spaces, and it does it to me every time, it's like when I know it's getting to be cleaning day, it's like I cannot wait for it to be cleaning day because I feel, like physically feel overwhelmed, stressed out, not calm, not relaxed. And you will find that you don't want that in your homes. You will find that you're feeling that in your spaces and in your homes when they're cluttered and stuff. Would you guys reach out to me? Let me know if you'd like me to do that. I could talk about organizing literally till I'm blue in the face. But if it's not something you guys are looking forward to or want, let me know. Like I said, we've been doing this podcast for what now, 5 years? I do have organization episodes out there, but it's literally one of my favorite things to do. Side note, when I was in college, I loved organizing so much. Like I would organize my bedroom in high school over and over and over again. And when I was in college, I put an ad in the paper and I'm like, if you need help getting organized, call me. Like I will help you get organized. Oh my gosh. Some of the houses that I had been in, they needed the help. And it's literally one of my favorite things. Like I can walk into your basement and see piles of stuff where you walking down there, you're like instantly overwhelmed and you don't know where to start. Me, I'm like, let's get to work. Like, let's get to work. We're just going to take this one box at a time and let's get to work. Like, I just can, it does. It's literally one of my favorite things. So if there's any organization questions, comments, email me, Lindsay@mycreativedays.com. I honestly almost said, call me. Call me. I'll be right over. Oh my goodness. Email me, Lindsay@mycreativedays.com and let me know because I want to do the content that you guys are asking for. Always send me your questions, send me your comments, your questions, your feedback, I'm struggling with this, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be organization. Your emails, your DMs on Instagram, your comments on YouTube, whatever it is, that's how we produce the content that we do. That's how I know exactly what you need. So please keep sending those. But honestly, let's start organizing. It's not even organizing. Let's start purging our houses. Like we need to get rid of stuff. We have too much stuff. Start getting rid of it. So this is another one where I don't think this is unpopular opinion. It's a lot of people have this opinion. Lamps are better than overhead lighting. This one, I think, goes without. It makes a room feel cozy in a way that overhead lighting doesn't. If a room feels cold and harsh, it's usually the lighting. So adding a couple of lamps instantly, just softens the whole space. And so getting in the habit of using those instead of the overhead light. It's funny, my parents have this overhead light in their living room. Oh my gosh. And it is not a dark... bright light by any means. But if you were to ever walk in, when my dad was at home, he is now in a nursing home. If you would ever go in the living room and you're like, I just need more light in here. You would turn that on. Oh, my dad would get so mad. He hated that light so much. He would rather have the lamps on. But some houses and some spaces, you've got those, oh my gosh, pocket lights. Am I saying that right? That are in the ceiling. And there's sometimes, you have people over, or you have, like, sometimes for us, it's a puzzle we're working on and you need the big bright overhead light to see. Obviously, you're going to use those lights. But when you're just kind of home and, just a lamp here or there just really adds so much more coziness, if that makes sense to your space. So this I already talked about, but your home needs to reflect you. At the end of the day, the best homes, I feel like, are the ones that feel personal, right? Pieces that tell a story, things you've collected, furniture you've redone, decor that means something. Those are things that make a house feel like a home. And then the other things, like your painted walls and all of that, like that's just part of you just have to do that, right? But your home needs to reflect you, not the trends that you're seeing. They are fun. They are there to entertain you. They are there to maybe help you think outside of the box. And maybe that's something you should do. Next time you see something trending, it's on your Pinterest page, it's on your social media, and you're like, okay, everybody's doing this in their homes. Maybe just rethink it, like, how could I add a little bit of that? Or, what can I do to maybe try that trend out without fully committing? Does that make sense? Because a lot of the times those trends in 6 months, you don't love them. You don't love them. And then you're like, oh my gosh, we have to do this all over again. I would love to know what unpopular opinion you have and you would add to this list. Email me, Lindsay@mycreativedays.com. I would love to hear from you. Like I said, a lot of these you'll agree with, and a lot of them you will disagree with, but they're just my opinion of years of DIYing and decorating and all the things. But they're kind of my tried and true. Like they're always gonna work, or it just looks better this way. But as I had mentioned earlier, we are now only hosting our podcast on YouTube. So that is the only place you can find our podcast. So make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. If you're listening to this, you should be on the YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you tap on the bell, you'll be notified whenever any new content goes out at all. So that's just a way for you to be in the know and stay up to date when we have new content going out. So if you have any questions, you have any podcast ideas, please always reach out to me. Send me a quick DM on Instagram if that's easier for you, an email. I never share your name at all. It just lets me know what kind of content we need to be producing to help you the most. So until next time, I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you very soon. Hello, friends. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I'm grateful that you tune in every week and that you share the show with your family and friends. I love having creative chit chats with you, and my hope is that this podcast will inspire you to try a new project, start a DIY that you've been putting off, and decorate your home exactly how you want it. There are a few ways you can help us with the podcast. Follow the podcast so you don't miss an episode. And if you could take a few minutes to leave the podcast a review, that would help us so, so much. Again, thank you for being here, and I look forward to our chat next week. Bye-bye.